Guys, it is John C. Morley here. Welcome to IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. I'm happy that you decided to join in just a few minutes before midnight here on the East Coast. Definitely would urge you to grab your smartphone if you're new here. Pull up that phone application of your camera there and touch the yellow oval. You'll get my link tree. If you are not watching us, but you are listening to us only, well, then go to believemeachieve.com for more of my inspiring, amazing creations, like the one I just released this week about the four functionalities of AI and understanding how and why to unify. Yeah, definitely pretty cool. All right, so let's get into the master topic. But before I do, I want to say thank you to you guys for watching me all this time. Whether you're watching me at 10 to 12 at night or 10 to 12 in the morning, 9 a.m., 9 p.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., potato, whatever it is. I appreciate you made the choice to make Inspirations for Your Life a daily part of your day. And now, our master topic: How to Unify, Series 2, Show 34, Episode number 6. Wow, John. We're in our second year. Can you guys absolutely believe that? I can. All right. So we're talking about Unify, in case you guys are wondering. And so let's talk a little about unifying. It will make you basically aware of what you don't know. So what do I mean by it'll make you know what you don't know? Well, I think when we unify, we are not judgmental, and we feel as though we have an understanding. Does that make pretty good sense? We have an understanding, and then based on this understanding, it's like, hey, I get this. I know where things are going. And there's no pressure for you to unify. But when you do unify, it's like things are just so much easier to understand in life, and they make more sense. Unifying, what I'd like to say is you making the choice to go with the flow. Now, we've all talked about tides before, or rivers, or a current, or even people in a crowd. If we make the choice to actually go one direction in the crowd, well, then we will actually be, yeah, we will actually be pretty wise and pretty intelligent. I think that's absolutely amazing. Just going with the flow. Just going with the flow. And when you go with the flow, things just sort of connect. They sort of open up to you. And when they open up, it's like, oh, I had no idea you were even talking about that. I didn't even know that was possible. So we're starting to, I guess, embrace what we thought was not possible, but really is possible. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. So if we can just suppose for a moment that we just forget about everything, and then we use our brain to unify with other things in our consciousness and things that we're not conscious of. And this is the whole magic of us thinking about something and feeling it before we go to sleep. And then our subconscious works on that. I think that's like one of the most powerful things in the world. There are a lot of people that are, let's say, against unifying. And I don't think it's because they don't want to unify. I think it's just because they're afraid or they're scared of unifying. That's what I would say to you. And that might sound like strange, but it's not strange. People are going through this every single day. And the reason they don't unify is because, like, oh my gosh, if I do that, then I'm going to lose control. But I've said this to you guys before. If we make the choice to let go of control, we'll have more control. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but it's absolutely the truth. So you can start unifying with people When you just let go, when you stop trying to have an agenda or force people to do things, just go with the flow. That's it. Just go with the flow. And if you go with the flow, I can tell you that things are going to be a lot easier for you. They are for you, aren't they? If you just go with the flow. That's all you have to do. You have to go with the flow. And then you'll start to get understandings, you'll start to get connections about what's happening in your life, and you'll start to have these, I don't know, I'll call them mini epiphanies. It's probably the best way to describe it. You're like, "Oh, wow, look at that," or "I didn't even know that was possible." But it does require you as a person to become open, open to lots of things. And if you're open to things, then there's more room for you to be able to explore in your life. There's a lot more room for that. And so, thinking about when I say the word unify, and if you were trying to unify with a crowd and this crowd was just coming like against you, that wouldn't work. But if you were in the direction of walking with the crowd, still not easy, but I bet it would be easier to unify with them because you're all going in the same direction. Yeah, pretty cool. How about going to a movie theater and you sit in the front row? All right. And that works well. But let's say your friends sit in the very far back row. How are you going to unify with them? Like, you don't want to miss the movie, so you want to sit up front. But I never want to sit in the front row. I want to sit in the middle because when you sit in the front row, it's very loud, and also you're right on top of the screen. It's like they say there's no bad seat in the house. Well, they've lied, because when you sit too close to the theater, you're like right there. Now they're trying to make the theaters better with stadium seating and the fact that every seat is great, but they got to build a buffer in so you're not really at the bottom. You can't have seats within 5 feet of the screen. I mean, you literally could just take your hand and maybe another 5 feet and you touch the screen. Unifying gives us a lot in life. But one of the things it gives us, it will give us a purpose. It'll give us purpose. Unifying will help us grow as people. So unifying will help us grow as people. And if unifying helps us grow as people, then there's so many other things that could happen in our life. We could have these different epiphanies. We could have these different moments, these different thoughts, things that we never thought were possible, but suddenly they are possible. That's pretty amazing. But it starts with you becoming open. Open to yourself, open to others, open to life. So unifying will help you grow. It'll help others grow. And it will also get us to connect with parts of ourselves and things we might have not known so well that we had potential for, to connect to do, to experience, to practice, to become better at. And then we want to unify with our world. When we unify with the whole world, that's just not the people, that's not just the animals, it's everything. It's concepts, it's buildings, it's art, it's history, it's music. It's so many things, but it's not just one thing. And if we could understand that it's not just one thing and that we have the ability, ladies and gentlemen, to be amazing, then I think more people would be like, "Oh, darn, I gotta unify now. Yeah, I gotta unify right this very moment." And I know you're probably saying, "Well, John, this is kind of crazy." But again, I'm gonna tell you that it's not crazy. It's something that I believe we have the potential to do in our life. That's right. I said it's something we have the potential to do. So the question you're probably asking me is, "Hey, John, why the heck aren't more people unifying?" I've told you why. It's because they don't understand it. People get fearful, ladies and gentlemen, of what you don't know. They get fearful of what you don't know. And when people get fearful of what they don't know what they do? They stop everything. They stop everything. And by them stopping everything, that is a problem because now they're no longer exposed to the real world. They're not exposed to the real world, and they're actually seeing, I'm going to call it a subset of what everything could be instead of what things actually are. Right. And people might have tried in the past, and for whatever reason, they get scared and they figure, well, I'm just going to just keep doing what I'm doing and not worry about unifying because, to be honest with you, I don't want to deal with unification. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. And because I don't know if I'm ready for that, I suddenly get very scared about it. I get scared about it. And I get scared about it because I'm afraid that I might make a big mistake. A wise person once said, if you are afraid of making mistakes, you'll never get better in your life. You will never get better. Never. Not because you don't have the drive. No, that's not the reason. It's because if you don't learn something, then you can't get better. You can't get better if you don't learn something. And the way that you will get better at something is really easy. It's by practicing. It's by practicing. And I know what you're probably saying to me, "Hey, John, I don't quite get this." Well, I get it. And I want to tell you that you have so much potential, Joe, more than you even think is possible. More than you even think is possible. It starts by that one, I'm going to say, choice. That one choice. And that one choice is something pretty amazing. The choice, ladies and gentlemen, to unify. But unify doesn't just happen out of the blue. You've got to make a decision that you want to unify. That's right. You got to make a decision that you want to unify. And when you do this, it's like the world suddenly changes for you. The world suddenly changes for you. And you might be saying to me, "Hey, John, this sounds so great, but I don't quite get it." try not to get anything and try to just be. The best way to unify is to actually embrace nothing and then be open to everything. I know that sounds really crazy. When the first person someone told me, "Hey John, just forget about everything and things will become so much easier for you." Right? That was the magic. So you have to embrace doing nothing. Embrace doing nothing, and you'll see how easy things are. That's pretty wild, isn't it? Yeah, it's very wild. And I want to tell you that making this choice could be the best thing you ever do. The best thing you ever do. But you've got to be open. You got to be open to life. You got to be open to potential. And there was another wise person a long time said to me, "Hey, John, stop trying to think and try to just be." And I'm going to end with that tonight. Stop trying to think and just be, and you'll find out that you'll be unifying like a pro very soon. Hey, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your evening. And I hope you check out all my other great content at believemeachieve.com and make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and a cup of coffee and click on that link on believemeachieve.com where it says help keep our content free. And my team will be so grateful with that cup of coffee you buy us that we'll put that into hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content to empower you to have an amazing life. So thanks so much for popping in, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow for the wrap up of How to Unify. Have a good one, everyone. Be well.